and welcome back to the podcast. You are, of course, listening to Welcome to Beacon Hills, a Southgate Media Group podcast dedicated to all things Teen Wolf related. I am one of your co-captains, Will, and joining me, as always, is your other co-captain.
Hello, I am Dawn. Good to have you back.
We're discussing episode, 507, Strange Frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had to write a review for this episode, I would title it "Mama's Got a Brand New Mixed Bag of Feelings." It's a lot going on in this episode, and I've watched it like 4 times, and I'm still not sure how I feel about it.
Okay. I love it. This is one of my favorites of the season. I think that there's some fantastic acting in this. It's got some good character development and some needed character development. And I also think that the pacing was pretty decent in this one. There were a few things that I absolutely hated. Mason, anybody who wasn't in the show last year, half the people who were in the show last year.
Oh, God. You have to embrace the change.
I am not embracing the suck. Sorry.
They're here to stay.
I cannot embrace the suck.
Well, let's just get started. Let's see. Russell McCauley directed, so that was obviously the best thing about this episode for me. Shout out to my sister from a different mister, Angela Harvey, who wrote this episode. Yeah, the synopsis that was in the press release was: an attack by the Dread Doctors complicates Scott's plan to protect the latest victim. Were we even watching the same episode, Teen Wolf?
I don't think so. It might be more like another lame plot that had no chance of working is screwed over because people aren't stupid.
It should say Scott and Co. hatched yet another in a long line of dreadful plans. That will backfire.
That would work. Dreadful plans that the Dread Doctors...
Yeah, punny business.
What? I don't know. It was a bad plan, but let's face it, it's not the penultimate episode, so if it's not that or the finale, no plan on Teen Wolf ever worked.
And the ones in the finale actually don't work either, but we'll get there one of these days. Eventually we'll talk about it. So yeah, this episode, I just want to start with a slight nitpick, is that usually our teasers are like action or suspenseful, but this one is like right where we left off, and then Theo drops the bomb, and I'm just like, where's Malia to rip his head off? Just
about to be chained to the floor.
That's my only nitpick.
Actually, I had the problem. I'm sorry?
That's my only nitpick. And then they try to give us the action with Hayden punching Liam in the face, which I'm all for.
Oh, me too. Love that part. That's one of my favorite things about the whole thing. As a matter of fact, what did that get? That got number 6 on my list of fantastic stuff in this episode.
Oh, I'm surprised it's not higher.
Well, we had some good character development and some good acting, so that had to come first. And of course, the action had to come first. So
yeah. So let's talk about.
I cheered out loud. All right. I actually ranked my top 7 things about the episode, and then I have other stuff too. So however long you need to go. But my absolute favorite thing about this episode is the action. Mama Fox and Kira's sword fight. I love how Kira's like whining, this isn't good mother-daughter bonding. And she's like, Kira, defend yourself. I love Mama Fox. I do. I think she's fantastic. And I was so happy to have more of her in this episode, especially more where it included some training on how to fight, and it included lots and lots of action. Mostly, though, it has some of the best shots of the whole season. I mean, those aerial shots were fantastic. The side shot, there was some great directing choices in this.
Yeah, that's my favorite directed scene. I love the overhead, and then we didn't use the slow mo. They really, really got to showcase the fighting. I love that.
Mm-hmm. It was awesome. See what non-slow-mo can do for you? Let's do that again.
Only in capable hands. Notice they didn't really use too much slow mo with Lydia either in the old
Mm-hmm.
premiere. So
Premiere, yeah. Yeah. I'm a big fan of dropping the slow-mo simply because it's so cliched now on this show. So I just really loved all the action. I loved the banter between them. I loved the shots. I just think that that was a fantastically constructed scene from all aspects.
okay, don't hate me, but there's gonna be people
Oh, no.
cheering. My favorite thing about this episode is the interaction between Theo and Styles, and how Styles is just not having it. The eye rolling, the tooth sucking, the basically saying, "You are my hell, you are my punishment." Loved it, loved it,
That's
loved
number
it.
4. That's number 4 on my list. I thought that those were the best acted scenes of the night. I think that the kid who plays Theo, Cody, Christian?
Yep.
Yeah.
Double every kid
Okay.
on this show.
Yeah. I think that he does some really fine acting job. I know he's got slammed in other places. I think that critics have been incredibly hard on him. But I think that he did a fantastic job because he comes off to us as creepy completely, but he's selling it to other people except Styles and Malia later on. But I just think that that is a great dynamic. I was really, really upset at the beginning of this episode because Styles was being isolated from Scott and the rest of the pack again. And that infuriates me. And that is one of the things that I don't like about this episode. But in return, we got these great dynamics, this great interaction, and it becomes my favorite interaction of the night.
I don't think that's my favorite interaction, but it's up there. What's
It's fine.
what's some other things?
I love the return of Snarky Styles, which kind of goes with number 4. But, he's been depressed and woe is me and a little bit melancholy, I guess.
It's every right. I mean,
And
it's a
so,
season too late, but he
yes.
has every right to be.
Oh, he does. He absolutely does. And he should be growing and he should have some character development. But Snarky Styles was one of my favorite things about this show. I love when I can laugh because he's saying the exact same things that I wanted to say, and he does it over and over and over again in here. One of my favorite ones is when Styles is like, "Do you know who you remind me of?" And he's like, "Theo, I don't care." And that's exactly what I was saying at the time when he said it. So I just love Snarky Styles. I like that he's back for this episode. And I like that his target is Theo. Because if anybody needs to have somebody snarking on them, it's Theo.
Yep. Let's see what else. Oh, I absolutely love that. Like they're trying to tell the fandom that Theo is irredeemable. There is no redemption for him by showing us him watching his sister drown. And this, as the fact that he
No.
says that Styles reminds her of, he reminds him of his sister. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, you touch Styles and we're gonna have a problem.
Mm-hmm. Number 5 on the list. See, we like all the same things here. Yeah, I thought that was fantastic. I like it because it was shocking. I mean, seriously, we all knew he was a psycho, but a psycho that young, he let his sister just die.
I guess she ate the
That
last
was
turkey
amazing.
leg.
Wow, what I think, and this went into my theories from before, I think that his sister realized he was a psycho. because he was talking about how she was a pain in the butt. He's talking about how she was always in his business, that she was very smart, that she saw things that other people didn't see. When he's comparing her to Styles, it made me think that maybe she was the first person to realize that there was something wrong with him, and that maybe he let her die because he didn't want anybody else to hear what she had to say about it.
Oh, they went another coldest
Which
night
would
of
make
the
him
year,
smart
though.
and
I was just like, dude, it is
oh,
California. Like, come on.
California.
Come on. Stop it.
I loved when we were all worried about Styles dying from hypothermia in one night, and it was a brisk 40 degrees. I was like, seriously? At that time, it was 20 below in Missouri, and we had like a foot of snow.
I'm pretty sure
And
it was
I'm
like
like,
2 degrees in
40
Kentucky
degrees.
and 6 inches of snow by my window at that episode.
It was like, are you kidding? Okay, people, you do need to leave California sometime
Hashtag
because
LA
you've been there
problems.
way too long. 40 degrees. Oh my goodness. That was like a balmy spring day for us. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Number 3 for me is the best Scott character growth we have had in a long time. I love that Scott puts Liam in his place. And he just flat out says, hey, listen, we got to do something. This is the plan. If you have a better plan, then tell me or shut up. And that's basically what he does. I also like that he admits in there that Hayden is indeed bait. And that's a big step for Scott. So I just thought that that was fantastic. Great character development. I wish they had followed up on it a little bit more. And I think that Scott does need to make more of a stand at this point. And so I really thought that was a great moment for him. And, you know, it stopped whiny Liam. And that's always a good
for
thing.
now. Um,
Well, for that episode.
yeah. Oh, because he got ganked and napped. He got puppy napped.
That's on my
Me
positive,
too.
too.
You don't even know. But no, because it's angsty for Scott. Like, the fallout from that is not good. But I was like, oh, good. We don't have to worry about Liam for a while. Let's see.
Yep.
Well, I've already kind of talked about Hayden's reaction, but I just want to like fully investigate it. Like, she's like, "Okay, you're weird. I'm getting out of here." Matter of fact, I think I'm just gonna get out of Beacon Hills altogether, which is the best idea anybody has
Smart.
ever had.
Super smart.
Damn dread doctors just had to stop her, didn't they? Because her condition
Yeah, you see, we could have gotten
improves.
rid of her. Well, and at least somebody's condition improves because, quite frankly, if these people are as old as the hills as they're trying to tell us, they really suck at their job.
See, before
Seriously.
the season ended, I thought that maybe the horror of the Dread Doctors was just that they were doing it just because they could. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. By this point, I had joined you in the, done with them.
Yeah. It's still kind of, even at the end of the season, I was pretty much, okay. Thanks for that, I guess.
Eh, move on. Keep going. Let's see. What's another one that I really, really loved? Oh, yes. As a big fan of Team Parent, I loved Mama McCall and Sheriff's scene, especially the one with the key card. The other one is a lot of exposition. It did kind of slow things down, but the key card one was just cute. It was
Which is
fun.
best hashtag of the night, partners in crime. Literally.
Yes. I loved how she's like, would you like me to show you how the key card works? It's just like lights
Dude,
up.
that scene gave
Like,
me a headcanon that Scott and Styles were switched at birth.
Oh. Ooh. I could go with that. That is true. Very true. It's like, and then Scott's like, is that still stealing? Scott's like, well, it's smarter. That was a great scene too. Way back before there was a rift in our bromance. Poor bromance.
Oh, this episode, it finally convinced me that Roscoe the Jeep is a metaphor, in this season anyway, is a metaphor for Scott and Styles' relationship, hands down, without a doubt. This was the foreshadowing of the crescendo of the breaking of the bromance.
I believe you are right, but I have faith that the Jeep is coming back. And thus for the bromance is coming back. First up, the bromance has to come back because he has to realize there's no way you can keep it apart anymore. So, but yeah, I would agree with that. I would say that I'm happy that Theo put out the fire, although I wasn't so happy that it was Theo. I was happy that there was at least some inkling that the Jeep would survive after this. So
it still has
poor
one
Jeep.
more thing to go through, though.
Just poor Jeep. Yes, it does. Ugh. Number 8 for me, Lydia is just done with the half-truths. And she just tells Liam what the plan is. I was not a big fan of Lydia in this episode, but I was really happy to see somebody like, nope, we're just going to tell the truth here. We're not going to come up with some exaggeration, some lies, some half-truths, some lie of omission. We're just going to tell you like it is. Let the chips fall as they may. Oh, thank you, Lydia, for being the voice of honesty in this show this season.
It's not reason, which I prefer.
Yes, that is true.
Okay, I loved, in a weird, creepy, morbid, macabre kind of way, the vision of Lydia that Parrish had, because I was like, oh God, he's gonna fantasize about her naked, isn't he? And then it turns into the most gruesome, gory, gross thing ever, and I'm like, yes, that's what all pedophiles deserve. Nightmares like that.
This episode was definitely high on the gross factor. And not just that scene. Yeah, that's going to be in one of my no. It's going to be high in my no list, but as a matter of fact, it's going to be number 1. But I do like that we didn't have to see them screwing each other, because I would just be done. I would. Number 9 for me, Malia's reaction to the cell phone jammer plan. She's like, we're counting on this? This is what's going to save us? I don't think so. She did, because she's loyal, and that's her. But that was my exact reaction. My first reaction is when he said we have a plan, to say, nope, not going to work. It's too early in the season. And then my second reaction was, wow, this is a bad plan. It's not Armored Truck Plan.
Who he seems kind of shady. Ugh, Lydia.
Yeah. And why was the guy with a gun in the parking lot?
Because it's Beacon Hills.
I was like, no, this does not seem like a good plan.
He brought a gun to a Wolfsbane fight.
That is true. But still, you would think that he was placed in the red shirt division of the plan.
Probably by Styles.
So while I was like, maybe he'll die. I was like, maybe he'll die. That'll be okay. But no, he just had to go and leave, and it was just weird.
Oh my God. When it was not like, it's like in my least favorite category too, but it was like when Scott's like, oh man, we're using cell phone jammers. We can't talk to Theo and Styles, and if I'm driving the bus and they're driving the bus, then who's gonna pick the kids up? Like when they realized that they were waiting on the dread doctors, they're like, then what are they waiting on to get the body? It's like Lydia had like a brain fart too.
Lydia was stupid in this episode. Just
I think her
stupid.
braid
And I'm
was
like,
too tight.
really? That is not Lydia. Maybe something was going on there, and it wasn't
She has
brains.
braids. She kind of turns into a donut.
It was just
funny because it's like Lydia
it's
didn't
another
think
thing that's on
about
my
this.
list of what
Like
I don't like.
writers, hello.
Well, I think that when your plan is based on cell phone jammers, using your cell phone would just automatically, no, maybe not. Smoke screens, I don't know. CB radio? I don't even know what is going on there.
Ugh.
Yeah. Another thing that I really liked, and this is going to shock people because it's positive and it's shipping and it's Liam. Yeah, I know. It's shocking that it makes my list of positives, but I really like how Hayden's freaking out and she's asked what she is, and Liam says, "You're Hayden." And I think that's the most perfect thing anybody could have said at the time. And I think that it is very sweet, and it's not overly sweet and sappy, but it was perfect.
I think Dawn has hit her head, and I'm gonna have to drive down and go check on her. So that's nice.
It's not my type of scene. It's definitely not my character. But I think that for a show that's prime audience is teenage girls, and let's face it, you can't have that many shirtless teenage hot guys and it not be teenage girls as your prime audience. I think that that's exactly what a teenage girl needs to hear an awful lot. And so I think that if I'm going to sit through anti-smoking commercials that make me want to hurl, this is a positive message that didn't make me want to hurl.
Okay, that's nice. like, no, like I don't even know what teen was going.
Don't know what to say about it.
Okay, so I love temper tantrum Theo. Like, don't judge me. So like when the dread doctor comes into the vet clinic and he's like, just tell me, aren't you curious? It's just so funny to me because like he's so in control when they're not around and cool and calm and collected. The minute they show up, I want to know.
You told me you would tell me everything. Yeah. At that time, I thought, because of how he worded it, I thought he was working for someone else, and there was another big bad in the distance somewhere who was going to pop up in 3 or 5B. And so for me, I was really excited about that scene because I thought it held a lot of possibilities for what was going to happen. Turns out, nope, that's not what happened. But
Clunky.
At the time,
Clunky
I really
word
liked
choice
it.
is clunky.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I did also really like smart Kira. Kira didn't have much to do here except for her action scene was phenomenal. I still have no idea what all those crying, emo, angsty stuff was about. It's like, really? Please go away. But I love the fact that she realizes that she needs to fix what's wrong with her first before getting involved with all the rest of this mess. And it was a very adult, mature decision. And I'm not sure that's, yeah. I'm not sure that Scott realized why that was such a great one. I mean, I think he was relieved that he didn't have to worry about his girlfriend killing his plan before, the steampunk scientists could kill it anyway. But I thought that was just a really smart way of doing things, and I hope that we get a lot of follow-up on that.
One episode and done, so I hope the one episode is good enough for you. In 5B, from what we've gathered. Yeah. So that's pretty much all the good that I have for it. You've mentioned most of the other stuff too, so we can just
All right. Well, I have a few more. Because I love this episode. I like Scott and crew trying to talk Hayden out of the bathroom using different arguments for her to come out. Whether it's the, our family works together, or, you can trust us, you don't have to believe us, to Scott just saying, I have to make sure that you're all right. And I thought that was a good way of kind of taking a problem and exploring it from different angles. I also love the moment when Scott, in that scene, when Scott's talking about how they telling the truth and it's better to do it face to face, and Styles just totally looks down, and you can see his guilt all over him if anybody had bothered to turn around and look. I do like the continuity of the 3A to Lurk current map back. So I thought that was fantastic. I have a like-hate relationship with the hallucinations, but I thought that it was very cool that all 4 of them are taken down. And I include Styles, even though that he wasn't there and it was actually Parrish that was doing it. And it wasn't actually a hallucination. So I probably shouldn't, but I like how all 4 of the main characters are just completely taken down in this episode. Because then they have to get back up. They have to figure it out together. Do they? No. Should they have? Yeah. And there's a part that I love that everybody else hated. And it's when Parrish punches Theo and that whole spurt of blood flies out onto Styles' face. I'm thinking, exactly how much blood is he like doing that doping thing where he's putting in extra blood to get his oxygen up or something? Because that was a whole stream of blood that just burst out. But I liked it. I thought that it had a good connotation for me because it reminded me of the time when the assassin had the gun to Styles' head, and then Douche Dad kills the assassin, and you've got the same look on Styles. I just thought that it visually, I thought it was fantastic. I love that Liam and Hayden are kidnapped. I wish they had stayed kidnapped, and I wish we hadn't visited while they were kidnapped. And then I also thought that Mason was smart in one scene where he wasn't completely worthless and filler, and that was the idea of using the scalpel to bring Scott back from his hallucination. I thought that was really a very smart plan. If it hadn't been Mason, I would have liked it even better.
Unsanitary. They were cutting frogs and fetal pigs with that thing.
Don't care. Don't care. He snapped Scott out of it. And for the first time in the entire episode, Mason wasn't a complete drain.
I was like, why are you here? Oh, that's the only reaction I have to Mason now. It's just, why are you here? Why would your best friend put you in danger like that and tell you where he is on a dangerous mission with dread doctors? Why?
Because he's Liam, and Liam
Worst
sucks.
Friend ever. Literally.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But those are some of the things that I liked about this episode. And I thought that, again, the acting was better than it usually is. And I usually like the acting.
Okay. I mean, it's been hit and miss this season. I feel like some people have been phoning it in, but then again, it's like, how can you really get it up if you've only been in like 3 scenes? Just saying.
Yeah.
You have to be in that rhythm, in that headspace. It's hard to get when you constantly are being like pushed out of your comfort zone, and Jeff's not the best guy to explain the motivations of a character when it deviates from norm. So I can understand why it would be hard for some actors on the set.
Yeah. I just think that they've done I think they did a better job casting. Like the real parts, not the 642 chimeras, but like the real ones. I think they did a good job of casting with Cody Christian. I think they did a good job of casting with the girl who plays Hayden. And that's pretty much the only 2 that are new and have actual scenes.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, lowlights.
Oh yeah. Always. Number 1 for me is Parrish lusting after Lydia. I was like, no, and no, and no. And I don't need the hand on the glass Titanic thing anymore. That's old.
I think my problem with this episode for me is that, like I said before we started, I watched this episode 4 times, and like even though I wrote notes, it's like really hard for me to remember what happened in this episode. Like just to think about this episode, it's like literally a blank hole in my mind. That's not good.
Yeah, that's not the best thing. That's how I feel about season 9 of Supernatural. What happened? I don't know. Okay, moving on. Number 2 is a huge one for me and what I don't like, and that is everything Mason and Screamer and that freaking club that needs to burn down 6 episodes ago, if not sooner. Oh, it's just terrible. Everything about these are filler. Every single scene, it was like, really, really, why are we doing this? And then we have all 4 main characters down.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Malia down in a trap. We've got Lydia without a tongue. We've got Scott being stabbed and
As
choked to death.
girlfriend.
We've got Styles. Yeah, we have Styles unconscious in an overturned burning Jeep. And then the thing that we need to do next is, go to Mason and Screamer at the club. Yeah, that's a great plan. Let's go with that plan. What the heck, Jeff? Really? Really? Just stop. These 2 are not interesting. The club is beyond not interesting and into annoys me every time it comes on, even before anyone says anything. It annoys me. It annoys me that it exists in Beacon Hills and that it might possibly show up on my screen again. You have gotten enough set time from this. Please dismantle it and let's move on. Because every single thing that happens there is filler, and everything that happens with Mason and Screamer is filler. I don't need filler in my episodes, and we have been fillerlicious all season long.
Okay, something that really bothers me about, I guess, both Stilinskis, and it's an honorable trait, but at what cost of like actual like character development and stuff. Like Sheriff Stilinski calls Donovan just a kid. Not according to the law. Just saying. Like you can have all the guilt about being a coward and not saving your partner or whatever, but it was his son's decision to jump on a motorcycle recklessly. You know what I mean? All this other stuff that happened after it. So it's just like, well,
Mm-hmm.
he's just a kid and he feels guilt about his
Oh.
dad, and I understand that. But hey, dude, he tried to kill you, and little do you know, he tried to kill your son too. So hey, family comes first. You gotta do what you gotta do to stay safe, especially in Beacon Hills.
And we don't know that Sheriff did anything wrong when it came to his dad. We don't know that at all. All we know is what, Psycho was saying. And quite frankly, does anybody believe Psycho? I mean, he's Psycho. So I don't know that he did anything wrong. I'm really freaking annoyed that maybe they did switch places, because that's what Scott would do too. Not Styles. Maybe they did.
Something.
Because Scott would be like, yeah, Scott would be like, oh, well, can you see the good in him? Yeah, he did try to kill us, but. And Styles is like, I'm saving my life. And Mama McCall's like, the kid threatened to stab you. They are the realists. They are the realists. So, yeah, Psycho, my biggest problem with Psycho is this whole age thing. Because if this happened several years ago, which is what they implied earlier, and he was old enough to be on a motorcycle, really?
Maybe it was
I don't know.
Jerk
He's the only character. Maybe, because right now it sounds like he is the only character who looks younger than the character is. Instead of all these teens that look older,
supposed to be like
because they are.
1920.
Yeah, and if that's the case, he can't be. If he was on the motorcycle, he can't be 19 or 20 now, and he could not have ever possibly have done that test to be a deputy. He would have to be in his mid-20s. He has to be the same age as Parrish, and he doesn't look like it at all.
Come on.
So it's like,
just got his growth spurt like 3 years ago. Like literally.
Okay. Well, I don't know who this person is, but his age is starting to be a, timeline issue.
It's time warp.
Yeah, I don't like that. Me don't like that. Sorry. It just doesn't. Ugh. And that is on my list too. I have it. Sheriff excuses Psycho's behavior because he's an idiot. Yeah, it's just, ugh. There are a lot of idiotic people in this episode. I will give you that. Although for me, number 3 is that Styles is still separated from the group again. So once more, we do not get any quality bromance time. I need my quality bromance time. That is my main thing on this show. So can we please at least let Styles and Scott be on screen together? Are they like in a fight in real life or something? What's up with this?
Well, no, that couldn't absolutely be true, but
I don't think so either. But it just feels like, I mean, I understand that he's trying to say that they're having a split between them, that they're pulling apart from each other. But the best way to do that would be have them on screen together and show them being awkward together. What's up with this? Oh, well, they're not going to get along. There's going to be a huge rift because they've spent absolutely zero time together for the entire season.
You're preaching to the choir.
I mean, seriously. For bromance, I've been stuck having to savor them talking about a really stupid plot in the middle of a library on a Saturday where everybody's walking by them.
What's worse,
I mean, come on,
is that they
really?
didn't even supplement it with Malia. Like Malia was like in this episode for a total like what 1 minute 42 seconds.
No, that's on my list too. Lack of Malia is not okay.
With the pack much. Like,
no. As a matter of fact, I wondered where she went after she, scoffed at the police scanners. Because I'm like, where did Malia go? She like go on vacation? She's at the vending machine?
So what, 20 minutes in?
Yeah. And when she did show up, she basically scoffed, and then we didn't see her again until she was trapped, and it looked like she had her throat punctured. I mean, come on. That is not okay.
I think you need to deal with your senior characters more than the new characters, and I think that's like where a lot of my frustration with the season comes from, because Malia is just very interesting, and we were promised Desert Wolf, and we've only been getting like literally like a little tiny crumb that not even a mouse would pick up, or even an ant. Like, what is this? Get this out of here.
I completely 100 and thoroughly agree. You know, Liam is not a substitute for Scott. Mason is not a substitute for Styles. And those two together are not a substitute for anybody's relationship.
On top of that.
Yeah. So, I need them to go back to what the core is. I realize that Scott and Styles are not going to be on this show for much longer. This show might continue. It shouldn't, but it might continue without them. I won't be watching it, by the way. But, instead of pushing them off to the side, and they did this with Crystal Reed as well, it felt like she was getting shafted in there because they knew she was leaving. And that sucks as a plan. If anything else, like give them more time. Yes. Most shows, if you get a character who suddenly gets a big background episode and suddenly every character is interacting with them, that's the time when you worry about them dying. And this show, if they barely mention them, they're never with the pack, and their name isn't Lydia, then, that's when you have to worry about them, because they're not on screen, so they're not going to be on screen later on either. And it just feels off. They need to really, really push Scott and Styles for the remainder of 5B and also for 6. Because if they don't, they're killing their audience.
I don't even know where to go with this. It's just, I don't know. Like, I know, like, the theme of this season is everybody breaking apart, but, like, why is everybody spending, like, Mason is not even, like, he's not in the opening credits. Why is he getting all this damn screen time with people that don't even matter at the end of the day?
Yep. And yeah. I don't care what two secondary characters have to do with one another when they're at a freaking club and the rest of the main characters are in peril. If the main characters are in peril, I really don't care one jot about those secondary characters. Not that I cared about them to begin with.
I mean,
I
Cody
mean,
Christian has
this is
gotten more
terrible.
screen time than Scott and Styles. I'm just saying.
That is true. But I think that in that case, it makes sense because he is the big bad of the season. So, you do have to give him some kind of screen time. But do I really need all the screen time with Hayden? Do I really need all the screen time with
They want
Mason?
us to care
I mean,
about Hayden.
I
The
didn't
more
even.
they shove it down my throat, the more I'm rejecting it.
Oh, I agree. And that is me every single show ever. And the more you try to tell me I have to like someone, the more
I
I'm
have
not
to
going to like them.
repairs. I'm like,
It's just
okay,
that
I
simple.
literally don't care about you, what you are.
Yep.
Go back to
Nope.
Iraq or
Mm-mm.
wherever.
Go defuse bombs somewhere else. No. Go hit on girls in a creepy way, somewhere else. Just go to
Or
jail.
better
Stay
yet,
in
you can be
jail.
that
That's
bisexual
what we need.
character everybody in Teen Wolf wants, and you can go to cinema. That way I can fast forward through your scenes.
That would work for me too. As a matter of fact, take Mason with you. And Screamer and who else? Scorpio and Chimera 493 and all these characters I didn't even bother naming. Like I didn't even bother to learn their real name. I was like, just take them all with you, and then burn the club down around you.
Yeah, basically.
The end.
And I hate how they dismissed the Chimera from the last episode. Oh, and then all we see is the information that Hayden's sister's typing up. His name is Josh. He's Hispanic. He's 17. And Scott's like, yeah, I know him. He's a junior. Let's move on. Nobody matters. Nothing matters. So why even give him a name at this point? That's just 30 seconds less.
I did. Yep. He's Chimera 493 to me. Like I'm done with you. I was done with blonde assassins. I'm done with you. Any other chimeras that show up who don't already have a name, just get another number. I don't care who they are.
I hated the montage too.
All right.
By the way, this is another thing. The montage in the middle of Scott and Kira's kiss. I'm like, what? Why are you putting a fan bit in this? What are you doing?
Right. And more importantly, it's like, okay, she said that she was not going to be part of your plan. She didn't say she was moving to India. What the heck? So now we know they're broken up because we had a montage. Is that what we're saying? And then they're all crying and mopey later, and I'm thinking, what the heck? I don't even know what happened here. Were you guys even together? Just stop.
Yeah.
I don't care. You blew your chances. All right, for me, one of my biggest thing is a nitpick. And nobody else probably cares or caught it. All right, we're in this brand new library. Beautiful setting, by the way. That one can stay. Some cinema has to go. But in this library scene, they have books that are using two totally different cataloging systems. Some of them are under Dewey Decimal. Some of them are under Library of Congress. Let's see how you make that work in any library ever. I realize you just went to the garage sale and picked up as many old books as you could find. But if we're going to do this, we probably should stick with one cataloging system. Plus, what the heck meant that, let's see, the history book is right next to the paranormal book, which is right next to the poetry book. Okay.
Hashtag librarian problem.
I mean, this is the kind of library that nobody would ever be able to find anything in because none of it makes sense. And speaking of things that don't make sense in the library, it's Saturday. They tell us that over and over and over again. What Saturday has a library full of students? I mean, full of students. Already?
No, it's Teen Wolf. You
No
never
way.
know what the heck time it is.
It's no way that it is there because they've already told us that it hasn't been that long because of the whole stupid holes in the ground thing. But anyway, no way. Plus, why is the library even open on Saturday? This is a public school. They're not paying that librarian to be there. Oh, everything about the library bugged me in this episode because nothing made sense. There is no cone of silence for the 944th time. The books are like total. It totally screams garage sailed. Here we go. I am available as an educational consultant, but even you should know that public school libraries, are not open on Saturdays. And if they were, there wouldn't be people in them, except whoever was paid to be there. So, seriously. Not to mention, what high school library has that many ancient leather-bound tomes that isn't curated by
I was gonna say it
Giles?
is Sunnydale, basically.
Oh, I'm looking at these books and I'm like, no teenager ever picked this book up. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure you got this from the college sale because no college student picked it up
I'm
either.
just saying, when we get to the demo time, they finally figured out, turn it over, there's gonna be a big gaping hell mouth with the master underneath. Just like I said, no vampires, but I'm leaving in season 6. Do what you want. AKA Clona Eric Kripke.
Oh, good. Oh, no. All I know is that just everything about the
What
library
really,
bugged me.
really bugged me is at the end of this episode how we ended. Mama McCall comes home to a dead chimera and screams her head off. That is not Mama McCall style at all.
I'm actually okay with that, but I will trade you a mama. Mama Fox just falls down when the fox appears. Is it really that surprising? Have you never seen it before? Because you know you were one. So what the heck? She's just like looks at it and falls down. I'm thinking, are we in a horror movie? Are you out in the woods? Somebody chasing you? Because this is what it feels like. She has much better moves than this. She is nimble and lithe, and she's good at this stuff. She's graceful. And all of a sudden it's like, ooh, we showed the fox. Time to fall down and end this super fabulous fight, which is a whole lot better than
Okay, but
anything
my
else.
question is, if she's
So,
not a kitsune anymore, technically, how does she know something is wrong with Kira? Presumably, Scott didn't tell her because he's a douchebag this season.
well, first off, I'm not so sure that she has zero powers left because she still fights like she has powers and she still comes out of the walls like a freaking ninja.
Well,
So,
Kira's not the most observant person either. Maybe we were seeing it from her point of view.
well, we were seeing her face, so we weren't seeing it from her point of view.
Kira needs glasses.
Yeah. I So all I know is that, I think she still has some residual superpowers left. And I think also that she has been a kitsune so long that she's got to know when things are off because this is her daughter. I mean, everybody realizes that something's off with Kira right now. So, yes, do I think that Scott should have told her and that they both should have gone to Mama Fox and said, hey, we're having this problem in your 900 years of existence as a fox. Do you have any solutions? But that would be too easy for Team.
For some reason.
Oh, yeah, common sense has not been very common this episode or this season. But, still, I think that there was a lot in there. I do think we need a translator every freaking time the steampunk scientists do their
It's
bug
so
language. Really? I don't want to have to try and translate it. I don't want to wait for somebody else to try and translate. And I sure as heck do not want to look at subtitles to try and figure it out.
hopefully that's
Ugh.
over and done with come season 5B. Hopefully they're like, we're tired. And like the thing about it is, isn't even that it's the bug language, it's that it makes no sense for the aesthetic of the Dread Doctors. Like to me, they sound
Mm-hmm.
mechanical and they're not machines.
Right. Yeah, there's just so much potential lost if we're talking about the season as whole. In this episode, I was perfectly fine with them, except for the fact that I couldn't understand them. And I'm not exactly sure why such advanced beings, and they are supposed to be advanced beings, they're supposed to be geniuses as well. they can't ever get anything right because they got it almost right with Theo, and then everyone else after that is a failure. That makes zero sense to me. And they can't speak more than like 2 syllables. Hayden, Hayden,
But they're on a
Hayden.
frequency that we couldn't
Really?
possibly imagine, Dawn.
It doesn't matter. I can hear them say Hayden
That's the
605
only thing
billion
that's coming
times.
through to our mere mortal brains, Dawn.
And then that makes zero logical sense because apparently they're still working with the same system and the same vocal cords.
Who even
So,
knows anymore? I'm just over the Dread Doctors. That's
ugh,
all I know. Every time they show up, they annoy me. Um, yeah,
I want
and
them
I
to
hate
die.
that now that Theo and Styles are keeping a secret from Scott together too. Like they were like, "Oh, which one did it? The one with the cane?" And they were
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, yeah, guy with the cane. Sounds good. Sounds good."
Which brings up stupid
Well,
Scott.
isn't that kind of a
Seriously?
synonym?
No, not in this case, because this is brain dead Lydia stupid. And Lydia was the stupidest character in this episode, which is hard to believe. No, Scott looks at the body. There is no puncture mark. There is no silver goo. There is claw marks on his throat, and says, "Ooh, must be the steampunk scientist because they didn't kill that way with anyone else. Good plan." Does he not have eyes? Is he not looking? Shouldn't he be asking a different question than, "Ooh, was it the guy with the pimp cane?" You know,
Oh,
seriously.
anyway,
Ugh,
let's wrap this
yeah.
up. Do you have any theories you want to share? I have one.
Not for this episode because I've already
Well, you
seen the
know what
other
I mean. Were
other
there?
3. Nah, yeah, it was basically that I thought that Theo was working for someone else who was in tandem or in league with the steampunk scientist, which ended up not being
Okay,
true.
the 115 that the Kisuni left in her little bed frame. What does it mean? I think
Mm-hmm.
it is a hint to Highway 115 from the opening up to the premiere, where they're stuck in this traffic jam, and it's the first time she sees we see
Mm-hmm.
like the little thing explode, the light bulb explode, and that's the first time she meets Theo,
Mm-hmm.
who's working with the Dread Doctors, and we obviously all think that the Dread Doctors did something to
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that one became
her. Yeah.
pretty obvious in there. that that was a flashback to that because the 115 didn't make any sense if it didn't mean that. Plus, it also makes a whole lot more sense why they kept saying, "Oh, it's on 115. Oh, she's on 115. Oh, 115 is closed and it's the only road into
Exactly.
Beacon Hills." So,
People were still like wondering
which
about
made
that,
no
and I'm
sense at
like,
that
it's
time.
the highway, but I guess people who aren't from California wouldn't really pick up on that, even though they said it a billion times.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's get to episode awards. Best character.
Ooh, did I do best
It's
character? I
okay if
might
you
not
forgot
have.
one. You want to do MVP instead?
I do have MVP. Let me go back up to it. All right. Well, I'm going to give best character to Theo.
Ooh, scandalous.
Mm-hmm. Not my favorite character, but he was the most intriguing character of the night. So I'm giving it to him.
I'm
What
giving
about you?
it to Styles all the way. I mean, even though he's keeping secrets, he's still kind of keeping Theo at an arm's length and in his place, and it's just good to see Styles, even
Mm-hmm.
though he looks like Boyd Styles, like a mug. Like it's worrying. He's got those bags under his eyes again. He's looking all
That is
sweaty.
true. That... He's probably having nightmares again.
It's all on the cutting room floor. We don't have time for that because we need to say Hayden 600 times.
Or just watch Mason play with books with, Screamer. Let's hide behind the books. guess what? We did that in season 1.
I
All
know they
right,
have like
good.
this weird obsession with Scott and Allison parallels for no reason.
What the heck? If you're going to do that, just bring her back. It'll suck, but it'll suck less than what's
See,
happening.
I had a theory about that, about why was the Wild Hunt actually came. It's because of when Styles, Allison, and Scott went to the Nemeton. Well, one third of the trio is dead. That's bound to throw the balance off, right?
Oh, it could be.
Which
I
I
don't know.
don't think so because they tried to basically
That,
say that the benefactor storyline had to do with Allison's death. So I don't know. I like my explanation better.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I try to forget season 4
I
happened,
know, me
so.
too. Anyway, let's see. You want to talk about your MVP?
Yes. My MVP is actually a tie. One to the stunt choreographer, which I thought were just brilliant this time, and one to the director, who has those fantastic shots during that scene. But I also really love the shot of Hayden through the puddle. I thought that was a really visually exciting kind of way of showing it. So kudos to both. You did a
Yeah, I
fantastic
like
job.
that Russell McCauley didn't get complacent with this episode. It was definitely visually different, and even the compositions were different. And like usually he has more close-up shots, and this one had a lot of more wide shots. And I like that. Keep doing what you're doing, Russell.
Mm-hmm.
Never get complacent as a director. Yeah, it's nice to do like callbacks and stuff like that, but you always have to kind of keep evolving in whatever craft you're in. And you know, he definitely did that in this
Mm-hmm.
episode. But I think my MVP is okay. Seriously,
Oh no.
like the skill of actually still making me care, even though nothing really happened in this episode. Like I still cared about what was coming in this next episode, even though it just plodded along. I'm just like, and they telegraphed everything, but I was still like on the edge of my seat, like, okay, but somebody's gonna die, right? They kept me in suspense, and that's a good job because I just was like, okay, come on, yeah, yeah. Oh, the music lied to me.
All right. First off, for those of you who don't follow podcasts here, you always know that Lilith is seriously reaching when she starts laughing before she tells
I'm
you.
really reaching. It is. So let's just get into best scene because I do know my best scene.
You know, well, me too. And actually, I did pick a different character of the night, so that was probably my best character. My character of the night when I took notes was Kira's mom. Mama Fox coming out of nowhere, attacking her. I was good with that. Um, my scene of the night is Kira and Mama Fox fighting. It's just the best visual scene, and it's the biggest action we've had in a
And
while.
it's mother against daughter, typical Teen Wolf. My
Absolutely.
favorite scene is partners in crime, Mama McCall and Papa Stilinski. The key card, not the
Oh yeah.
allergenic skin graft. Even though I called that back when they made it a big deal with Tracy. It's like that's important.
And it was the lesson of the night, so yay for SAT vocabulary again. Oh, yeah. All right, my best character interaction was Styles and Theo. I thought that they were phenomenal. And that also gets my best acting award.
I think my favorite character interaction is Mama Fox and Kira, but when she's doing the acupuncture, like she's trying to do everything to help her daughter, and like we just don't really get to see the parents take care of their kids that much in Teen Wolf.
Mm. Yeah, because they never let them in on what's happening.
Even Scott and Mama McCall, seriously, like
Seriously.
it's only like at the end of the season when we kind of see Scott break down or something like that. But like, I mean, and, let's be fair, she's running the hospital and probably the jail at this point.
Possibly.
The
And
grocery
probably the
store.
morgue, and you know. I think that video clerk died in the first season, so she might be doing that too for the next 3 days that it'll be in business. So, yeah. As a matter of fact, maybe she's running the bowling alley.
She closed
Who
that down.
knows?
She knew that was a lost cause.
Oh, yeah.
So
All
let's
right,
talk
what's
about the
next?
grade.
Sure. You want to
Oh
do
yeah,
quotes or
quotes. I
grade
don't have
first?
any, so I know you probably have plenty. So
But yeah, I have 10, but I'm not going to say them all.
give us 3 to 5.
Okay. Quote number 1. Kira. Mom, this isn't what I would call quality mother-daughter time. Mama Fox. Kira, defend yourself. I always love that line. 2. Theo. You still want to know why I haven't said anything to Scott? Styles. Maybe. Theo. You think I've got some kind of ulterior motive? Styles. More than likely. Theo. Would you believe me if I said all I want, all I've ever wanted is for you guys to trust me? Styles. Nope. Theo, so you're here because you're never going to trust me. Styles, yep, glad we had this talk. I just love how snarky he is, how matter of fact, and he's pretty much like, no, I don't trust you. I'm not going to trust you. Screw you. I wish you were dead. And it would have been better for everyone. Number 3 for me. Mama McCall, you're not asking me to hand over medical files without a court order, are you? Sheriff, I would never ask you to do that. Mama McCall, good, because they may take away this key card, which allows me access to medical records. Do you want to see how the key card works? Sheriff, I would love to see how that key card works. Oh, they are just awesomely awesome. Number 4, Scott, we just need to tell you the truth, Hayden, and that kind of thing usually is better face to face. Listen, either you're going to unlock the door or I'm going to have to break it open. It's okay if you don't want to talk or if you're not ready to believe us, but I got to know that you're okay in there. Then Hayden opens it up. I believe you. And she should. Number 5, Theo. You want to take shifts watching? Styles. No. No, I want to spend some quality time with you.
Sounds good to me.
Like, really? Uh-huh. Yeah. It's right up there with Styles. Theo, I don't care. Points for the Wendigo Donner Party lines and the whole your Hayden, all that other stuff.
Oh, okay, the grade.
A
Yikes.
minus. I love this episode. I do. I love that. I loved everything Styles and Theo. I thought that it went so much better than I expected it to. I like that Scott was forceful, he was authoritative, he was finally acting like an actual leader, making the tough choices. I like that. I love everything about Team Parent. They were phenomenal through this whole thing. They needed more scenes. They needed more scenes with their kids. I like that Kira is smart. Mason is smart. Don't like Mason, period, but I like that he's smart in this. um, and I just think that the pacing for me worked really well. I like how we did not have just one big scene with Scott and, or not Scott, but with Styles and Theo, but it's cut up into different parts. And I thought they did a particularly good job of when they cut those parts because each one left us with something that was like, ooh, oh, or you're breaking my heart, Jeff. I cannot take this. So I thought that those were done particularly well. I like the action in this. Um, there were things that I didn't like. And so normally that would give it a B, B plus. But considering all the other things that were happening, filler is pretty much a standard in this season. So taking out filler, I thought this was a good episode.
I'm sure there were things that I liked, but I think the things that I didn't like outweigh the things that I did. It's just a general sense of blah. When like I said, like I can't really. I have to focus to think about what was in this episode. That's just not good. Usually, I can just sprout. Oh yeah, then Styles and Scott did this, and then Lydia smacked him in the head and said, "Hey, stupid, listen to me," and you know what I mean, like stuff like that. Like nothing really stands out to me like that, except for like the action scene, and even that is just kind of like I don't know if that was a good idea, Mama Fox. What if your human husband had been a little slower with them boxes, huh? So that's all. It's a C plus for me.
All right. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm just really liking the odd number episodes. I think they're better paced. And slightly less filler.
Yes.
But everything has filler.
So yeah, let's do some listener feedback. I know you got some of your favorite tweeples.
I do. My favorite one, I hope, is a sequel. All right. It comes from at something's cooking, SUMFINSCOOKIN. And he said, if Mama McCall and Papa Stalinski get married, you could definitely call their family the Shady Bunch. Because they are. They all are. The next one is at Lick Me Styles X. Anyway, yeah. She said, the Team Wolf fandom may disagree on many things, but we all come together to share our hatred for Jeff Davis. And after this episode, I was feeling it. At WCKD Styles 24 said, is Malia okay? Is Lydia okay? Is Kira okay? Is Hayden okay? Is Styles okay? Is Scott okay? Is Liam okay? Is Parrish okay? Is Roscoe okay? Am I okay? Yeah, that is really the answer. No. My fourth one is actually a response to Melissa Ponzio, who said, I'm not sure. Can someone tell us what's going on? And at Nations Film replied, the pack did the stuff, and then the Dread Doctors did the thing, and then Theo told the lies. It's all complicated.
That sums up every episode of Teen Wolf at this point.
Pretty much. Yep, pretty much. And then the last one I picked because it's a Buffy reference too, and gotta give some Buffy love. And it is at Clone Poster, who said, Kira, do you think Buffy left Mr. Pointy at home?
I'm saying, I think she knew she killed that person. So,
I don't think she did. I don't think she killed him at all. No, I don't. And it will shock me if she did.
You think Theo set her up?
I think it's a Theo setup to drive more of a wedge in between them, and it works.
Well, it's gonna blow up in his face though, because now her mom knows something's up with her fox, and they're gonna go try to fix it.
Well, it's gonna blow up in his face because he's telling two different stories at the same event. So it's like, yeah, nope, that's not gonna work very well. All you need is for one person to actually decide to talk to another person, and your cover's blown, buddy.
I love doing Teen Wolf like in retrospect, because now I can read all the reviews, and I can shout out all my favorite reviewers now. My top 4 favorite reviews for this episode come from obviously AV Club, Den of Geek, What Up Buddy TV, and then also Entertainment Weekly did a really good piece on. Yeah, usually I don't like Entertainment Weekly, but this season they were really good about Teen Wolf. They had somebody that's like really a fan instead of somebody that was assigned to it. That's always a good sign.
That is true.
Oh, and my Reddit spotlight is for the Teen Wolf subreddit. Go find the one that is dedicated to Jeff Davis that runs it anyway, because every season finale he gets so much hate. He's like, I'm not that Jeff Davis. It was like an appreciation
Actually,
to him.
Right. I have seen that one, and I want to say that his Twitter, his actual bio is not that Jeff Davis.
Like, sure, Jeff, likely story, you would say that. Whitney, though. So, yeah, that brings us to the wrap up. Thank you for joining us on this episode of.
Oh, hello. We got to have our own episode awards. Where are your episode awards?
No, but you can go.
No. Oh, that's my favorite thing. You don't even have an as if or,
that awkward moment when I become shipper trash. Do you really want that award? I ship Theo and Styles in a really sick, twisted way, and I'm sorry, but Man, Cody Christian's got me twisted this season of Teen Wolf. I love him. He has been killing it as Theo.
All right. We may
Yes,
need an
please come
intervention.
save me.
Because no way in Hades should Styles be with the psycho who kills his sister.
When Boy Styles comes,
Just
him
saying.
and Theo are gonna be the best of Bro TV for like 2 episodes, and then Scott's gonna smack some sense into Styles, and they're both gonna take Theo down. So I just want to enjoy that ride.
I am not opposed to Void Styles coming back. I am not. Jeff Davis
I
is,
think
but
he's
I
a
am
liar,
not.
ma'am. Because I feel like Boy Styles is making a comeback. Not Dark Nick Sunny, but Void Styles. There is a difference.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not sure, but I think they have great banter because they are two totally different people who Theo seems to think are the same. It's like, oh yeah, we're just alike. And Styles is looking at him like giving him that cross-eyed, what the heck, side-eye? I don't know what you're talking about, but you are nuts, buddy. Yeah, no, I don't ship them together. And I certainly don't ship, actually, yeah, no. I don't ship crazy with anyone.
It should be fun in fanfic.
Crazy is awesome on TV as long as they're not just crazy for crazy's sake. Crazy and smart, I should say. And so to be totally honest, I think Theo is the best villain we've had since Void Styles. I mean, he's just better than anyone else. He's approaching Kanema level for me.
I mean, while I kind of scoffed at, hey, we knew him back in like 4th grade, but only because Liam was dealing with somebody from the 6th grade too at the same time, I think. That was a little bit of overkill. But it is a personal connection, nevertheless.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that it's just the fact that they made the villain smart this time. I mean, he had a plan and he worked the plan, and you know, for most of the season, the plan works. Yeah. So, I mean, he's one of the few villains that, first off, has a motivation that it's old, it's tired. We've heard this before, but his plan is working on it, and it's not oh, hey, I'm Peter, I'm the bad guy. Remember me? I'm bad. Here you go. I'm gonna prove it. When he really wasn't like that all season long. And then it's not some twisted, weird, what? I still don't get it. Villain from before who may or may not be a villain or a victim of the villain who was not a villain either. And I still don't understand season 4. So I just think that he's smart, he's fun, and he's got good chemistry with all the other characters. And I think that's part of what makes it good. And I think he was well cast. That's important too. All right. My 3 special awards are Best Career in Beacon Hills, Mechanic, because every freaking car in the city has broken down now. I swear, they could be making billions of dollars just from fixing stuff that's on the side of the road broken down. You know? Seriously? Oh my. Worst radio station ever. 91.5, the Steampunk Scientist channel. It's all prognosis updates and weird bug noses all the time.
So awful.
That's I'm sorry. I don't care if it's promising or not. I don't want to listen to you. And speaking of, least helpful foreign language. Theo speaks bug, which probably won't help his college admission.
Oh, if he's even going to college.
Oh, he'll be dead before he can go to college, but that's okay, because it'll be fun while he lasts. And for heaven's sake, oh my goodness, the worst thing you could do, Jeff Davis, at this point, besides continue to keep the pack apart, the worst thing you could do would be to try to redeem Theo because he's hot.
Yeah. I had a conversation about that. I said, that's kind of a problem with the Teen Wolf fandom. Hot equals good in a lot of cases. And I was just like, I
Mm-hmm.
enjoy Theo because he is
Nope.
evil. And yes, he's nice looking. Will still is too young for me, but still nice looking. And I understand where everybody's coming from. But
Mm-hmm.
are you serious? Like, I know. I'm like, I'm shipper trash. I admit it, but I have no ulterior motive. It's okay. I'm not serious. Some people are like dead serious. Theo needs to be redeemed and he needs to be a part of the pack. And I'm like, no, he needs to be dead at the bottom of Beacon Hills River.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just put his body on the nematode and set that thing aflame, along with all the other chimeras.
No. We have to
Yeah.
chop his body into small pieces, grind it in a food grinder, and then set it on fire. That way I know nothing's gonna come back.
You know? That works for me. That totally works for me.
Now it's time to wrap it up. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Welcome to Beacon Hills, where we talked about episode 507, Strange Frequencies. Please feel free to send in emails to welcomeToBeaconHills@gmail.com. No. Teen Wolf SMG Pod at Teen teamwolf.smgpod@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at Beacon Hills Pod, and we are on Facebook. Welcome to Beacon Hills.
Absolutely. You can go to southgatemediagroup.com for all of your podcasting needs. We've got something for everything. And I think that you will find a lot of new stuff that is very exciting. As for me, you can also find me at Red Shirted, the 100 podcast. So if you watch the 100, you'll want to go there. We just started it, and I think that it's been a whole lot of fun. So check us out and also leave us feedback. You can also find me at Dawn1, DAHNE1. on Twitter. That's my favorite way to get a hold of people. So if you're on Twitter, I can get you back. I'm also at dawn1.blogspot.com for my blog. And starting in the third week of September, I will bring back my column Last Week in TV. It goes up every Monday on my blog and also at Spoiler TV. So check us out there.
If you guys want to get a hold of me personally, you guys know you should by now know that you can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire. You can find me on Tumblr. It's lilithhellfire.tumblr.com. And my blog is littlepopculturevulture.blogspot.com. And yes, finally new content is coming starting September 21st. First review of the season, Gotham Season 2.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, the new TV season is going to be interesting. If you like to live tweet, you should definitely follow either of us or both of us, preferably both, on our Twitter because we tend to live tweet a lot of different episodes throughout the week. So if you're talking about TV, chances are one of us is talking about TV too.
So take them out of here, Dawn. Tell them what they should be afraid of.
Thank you so much for listening to Welcome to Beacon Hills. We'd love to get your opinion, so don't forget to give us feedback. And until next time, don't even bother planning, because, dude, it's Beacon Hills.
If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.